It's time for this week's View from the Sideline. Here's Bryan Burchfield.
It's time for this week's View from the Sideline. Joining me this week, two seniors on the Wildcat football team, Jacob Morrow and Jeff Gibson, two guys on both sides of the football on that line. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
Appreciate you taking a few minutes and spending with us on this week's View from the Sideline. Jeff, I'll start with you. Playing both sides of the football, what kind of shape you got to be in to play on both sides of the ball?
It takes a lot of conditioning during the season, but Coach he's put us through it pretty good. You got to be in pretty good shape to play both ways, especially against the hard games like Loudon last week.
So tell me some of the things that you go through the week, the off season that you've done personally to prepare and condition yourself to play both ways.
We lift and we run a lot of sprints at the school with Coach E. He just puts us through a lot of the stuff to get us ready.
What positions do you play on each side of the ball?
Play offensive guard and defensive tackle.
Which side do you prefer?
Offensive.
Tell us why.
I like to protect the quarterback.
Like to protect the quarterback. Have you done a good job of that this season, you think?
Pretty good.
Okay. All right, Jacob Morrow with us. Jacob, tell us what positions you play.
I play on offense. I play right tackle. On defense, I play middle linebacker.
Now, which side of the ball do you prefer?
I really play defense.
Now, on defense, you've played on the line. You've moved back to linebacker depending on what alignment you're in. Do you like playing on the line or do you like playing linebacker?
I like playing linebacker.
Tell us why.
Because I like being back there, being able to read the offense, see what they're doing, and fly around, make some big hits.
Yeah, you're kind of back a little bit. You can see what's going on and have time to react, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jacob, believe it or not, went by in a blur. We're moving into Game 9 coming up against Tellico. Seasons went by pretty quick. How do you think it's went so far? How would you grade this season so far?
Well, I feel like we've done pretty good. We could have done better than what we did against Meigs and Red Bank and Loudon, but it's been a pretty good season.
So with 2 games left in the season, forgetting everything that's happened in the previous 8 games, what are you guys saying as a team? What are your focus now with these last 2 games?
We need to come out in the first half and play like we know how to play and quit playing down to the level of the other teams that we play against, and we need to focus.
Do you think there's been some of that, some playing down, maybe a little lack of focus this season?
Yeah, I feel like when we play a worse team than what we are, then we play down to how they play, and that hurts us a lot.
Now, Jeff, same thing to you. A couple games left in the season. Still a lot of things in front of you. Still a lot of goals to accomplish. You guys thinking about that, forgetting what's happened in the past, forgetting that Loudon loss, and looking forward?
Well, I think we take off the Loudon loss and just kind of build off of it and make it just help us get motivation to move on throughout our season and make it better.
What have y'all addressed this week in practice to try to improve on?
Well, as for the offensive lineman, we've worked on more of like staying with our blocks and moving our feet more and protecting the quarterback. But as a team, we've worked to keep our focus and not arguing back and forth as a team, just trying to keep our heads straight.
Jacob, same to you. What are some things as a team you guys have addressed this week to try to improve and get ready for Tellico?
Well, on defense, we worked on getting off our blocks and making a tackle. As the last week, we were just getting blocked into the backers and everything, so we worked on getting off our blocks and trying to stop the play in the backfield.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Tennessee did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Jacob Morrow and Jeff Gibson, my guest on this week's View from the Sideline. Jacob, it's your senior season. This is your last regular season road game as a Wildcat at Tellico, and then next week will be senior night over at Sweetwater High School. Have you reflected on this being your last couple regular season games yet?
I ain't try to think about it. Just try to go out there and play the best of my ability. Try not to think about this being my last game.
Tell me what it's meant to you to be a Sweetwater Wildcat football player.
It's meant a lot to me going around school, being held to a higher standard than all the other students because they look up to me as a football player.
Jacob, look back to when you were a freshman coming out on that Wildcat football team till now. How do you think you have changed and grown as a football player?
Well, I feel like I've got more mature, learned more about football. That's through the years. When I was younger, I didn't really know much, but now getting in high school, they taught me a lot.
Jeff, your senior season as well. Have you thought about that?
Not really. I just try to, like Jacob said, just play the best of my ability every game that I can.
When do you think that'll hit you? That your senior season, last time playing football for Sweetwater?
Probably senior night whenever we're all out there standing there.
What have you enjoyed most about playing for the Sweetwater Wildcats?
Just how everybody in the city, they look up to you, and it's not like you're just a regular person. If they see you like on Fridays wearing your jersey, everybody wants to talk to you or shake your hand.
Coming into this season, what did you all as a team set out to do? This is our goals. This is what we want to accomplish.
Well, Coach Hughes always said and always wanted us to go and make it to the state championship and win it and bring a ring back here.
You're 5-3. Still, the playoffs are very much in contention for you guys. So that goal's still there. Do you think you guys as a team have the mindset to get that done?
I think that we have the skill and the ability to make it there. It's just if we play as a team, I think we could. But if we try to argue with each other and don't play as a team, I don't think we'll win many more games.
Now, Jacob, we mentioned earlier, play on the defensive line some, play a lot at linebacker. Tell us about that linebacker position, pre-snap. What are you looking at before that play starts as your key on what to do in that play?
Well, before the play starts, I'm normally looking at the offensive line, seeing what their guards are doing, and looking at the running backs and seeing who's out wide, and pretty much watching the quarterback's eyes.
Now, flip to the other side of the ball when you're playing on offense. Do you prefer to run block or pass block? And tell me why.
I'd rather pass block because I get a setback and see what that dude's going to do and then wait for him to make a move and get hands on him.
I'm always surprised. A lot of guys say pass block. I'd figure it'd be the other way around, try to knock people off the ball. Jeff, you're shaking your head. You a run block guy?
Yeah, I like to run block. I'd rather put somebody on their back than have to stand up and fight with them.
A lot of times the offensive linemen don't get a whole lot of credit. Maybe the guy scoring the touchdown, you made the block before got the credit. What do you think about that?
Well, it doesn't really bother me. I just block for him and just try to finish my block, and if he scores, then he can have the credit. He's the one that had to run.
Now, ask Jacob this, I'll ask you. Now, defensive side, tell us what you're doing pre-snap.
Getting set and just getting ready to fire off the ball.
It's ready to hit somebody in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything you're looking for when you're looking across the line before that play starts to kind of let you know what direction the play's going or what you need to do?
Well, a lot of times, like if I'm lined up on the guard, you can tell whether he's going to pull or not. So a lot of times you can watch their feet, and that's how you can read it. But other than that, there's really nothing you can really tell.
Jacob Morrow and Jeff Gibson, my guest on this week's View from the Sideline. Two seniors for this Wildcat football team. They're on the road tonight at Tellico. Jacob, tell us about Tellico. County rivalry game, non-region, but still important for that overall record. Tell us about the Bears.
Oh, they're a pretty good team. They're pretty young, but we have to come out and fight them hard in the first half. Come out strong, hit them in the mouth, and set a tone early.
What are some keys you think? You mentioned start out early. What's some other keys in this game you think that you all need to accomplish to beat Tellico?
We're going to have to stop the run, fly around as a team, and make some tackles, and be strong up front.
Jeff, same to you. What's some keys tonight to get the win over Tellico?
We're just going to have to fire off the ball as a defensive line and offensive line, just trying to get the push and just trying to get as many yards as we possibly can.
How important is it for y'all to go to Tellico tonight, get the win, county championship, and get back in the win column?
Well, it's a pretty important game. Like always, it's a big game. It's Tellico. It's, like you said, county champs, but we're just more focused on just playing it better as a team.
Jacob, same to you. How important is it to you and this team to go to Tellico tonight and get the win?
It's real important that we go up there and win and bring that county championship back to Sweetwater like last year.
That's seniors Jacob Morrow and Jeff Gibson on this week's View from the Sideline. Guys, thank you for your time and good luck tonight at Tellico.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to View from the Sideline. The Fairweather Financial pregame show is coming up next.